Hey, this is Rob from Punk Fitness, and it is the 1st of January 2020. Happy New Year. So, I've written a lot of goals for this year, lots of different smart, measurable goals, and they're in different categories. So, everything from my body to my health to my business to my relationship to my ability as a parent, among many other things. So all these are in place. They're in place from yesterday, and today I got up early before everybody else, and I started my morning routine. So what that consisted of, it was me switching the kettle on as I would normally do, and during the time that the kettle's boiling for coffee, then I'm doing nasal breathing, and I'm also starting some rehab movement. So for me, my shoulders are a big issue. It seems to be weak and get hurt quite quickly. So what I was doing was some scarecrows or wall slides with my hands, so my head and shoulders and back on the wall, and my elbows and fingertips on the wall, and I'm doing shoulder presses overhead, trying to keep my arms glued to the wall the entire time. And the whole time I'm doing nasal breathing as well. My intention is to have intentional thought during that time, so I could do my gratitude practice and set some intentions of how I want to behave and how I want to be on that day. So then I went on to doing some mobility with shoulder dislocations with mobility stick. And again, I'm doing nasal breathing while I'm doing this. And the kettle still had not boiled by this point, so I'm just running through about 10 overhead rotations, two hands on the stick, hands wide apart. You don't have to use a stick, you could use a rope or a belt or a skipping rope or whatever. And then I got the foam roller out and I did some work through my back, just generally rolling up and into my upper traps, and then down along either side of my spine as well. Again, I'm doing breathing and I'm trying to do some intentional thought at the same time. So I'm trying to multitask all the way through that. But I think at this point I've already put some water in the cafetiere with the coffee, and I'm letting that brew before I put the lid on it. I normally let that brew for a good 5 minutes or so. So during that time, I'm on the floor, and now while I'm down there, once I finished rolling, I did a short meditation and I used some nasal breathing with a belly breath, pranayama. So I'm trying to inhale through the nose and I'm extending my belly as I breathe in, and then I'm allowing my belly to relax. So it's like kind of hybrid of lots of different things going on here. So I did that about 30 times, and I did one Wim Hof cycle. So again, while I'm doing that, I'm trying to have intentional thought. One of my intentional thoughts is being aware of my emotions, and less I'm kind of a little bit on the scale of being high or low. So I'm trying to focus on being somewhere in the middle. So and also having gratitude for my family, for my partner Kasha, for my kids, and these sorts of things, and just generally set myself into a more positive mindset and outlook and thread, and I'm more grateful and in a place of service. And now I am over by my red light, so I've got an infrared light, so I'm doing some infrared light therapy, which is supposed to be good for circulation and inflammation and help improve healing and help increase collagen in the skin and what have you. It just feels very nice as well. It's nice and warm. So while I'm doing that, I'm doing some journaling. So my journaling, basically take a pen and I split the page in half, and then about 6 lines down on an A4 sheet, I do a horizontal line as well. And in the column on the left at the top, I bullet point 6 wins from the previous day. So these are anything from just things I've achieved, like I got my emails out to my email list, and maybe I put a social media post up, and maybe I was successful in not having any arguments with my partner or the kids or anything like that. And then the column to the right are areas of improvement, so that's the opposite. But I try and keep a positive spin in it, so I call it areas of improvement rather than losses. So just as it's a personal reminder of something to make a bit more of an effort on this coming day. So then I've run through things like that. So again, this might be my behavior, something I've noticed in myself that I'm not happy with, something I failed to do that was on my to-do list, or what have you, things that are fixable quite quickly. So they'll go in there, and then from there I'll go into my to-do list for the day. So that's the long column on the bottom part of the page. So on the left hand side I'll write my to-dos, and on the right hand side there's another long column which I will use for ideas, anything that I think of and I want to capture. Then I'll stick these onto the bottom section, and I'll use them to formulate aspirations and ideas, and maybe some business products or some ideas that I want to do with the family, or maybe a recipe that's come to mind, or anything like that. And all of this has taken about 20-30 minutes total, and I reckon with practice I can bring that down. So far I've tracked my sleep, I've tracked my weight this morning, I've done some mobility, I've done a lot of nasal breathing, and my sinuses feel clear already. I feel really relaxed. My coffee's ready to drink, so it's all good to go. I've done some meditation. That's the first time I've ever done that. And I've checked my resting heart rate. My resting heart rate was down at 44 beats per minute when I did my meditation, so I'm quite chuffed with that. And I've done my journaling. I've got some to-dos for the day, and I've done my red light therapy as well. So all in all, 1st of January, pretty successful morning, and I hope to do this 300 times over the forthcoming year. Imagine what you can get done if you do it 300 times in a year. Pretty awesome. Have an amazing 2020. I'll see you soon.